Hello and welcome to the 616 right here on the Else Nerds Network. This is another special where I'm going to take a look and first off give you my thought, or well, later on I'll give you my thoughts on Convergence and that whole two-month event that happened over at DC. But right now I'm going to give you the week 3 and week 4 of the sneak peeks. Those were the 8-page issues that came out in a lot of the books during Convergence. Starting with Batman Beyond. This was in week 3. All these are going to be week 3. Batman Beyond was really good. It was really interesting because I hadn't read any of the other Batman Beyond books prior to this. I knew they were out there and all that stuff, and I know about the character Terry McGinnis and all that, but who was the original one. But this one, it takes place right after Future's End. It's the direct lineup from Future's End, and it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting concept with this because you have Tim Drake going into or becoming the new Batman, in here, taking Terry McGinnis's place and having to do with some tough choices, but not like what you would expect in the sneak peek. Not like do I kill this person? It's how do I tell Terry's little brother that he died, sort of thing. But it's really good. I will say out of this week's week 3's sneak peeks, all of these are ones that I'm interested in. The next one is Batman Superman, and this one actually renewed my interest because I started reading Batman Superman when it came out during the New 52 thing, and then it just sort of lost me. But this one, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is really cool because it's tying in the new Batman and the new Superman books together, and they're doing this own thing. And Lex Luthor pops in at the end. He was the big reveal that week. Oh, here's his new costume and all that, which it looks pretty cool. It's not the power suit that you're used to him wearing, but I mean, new ideas are good. Next is Catwoman. This is a continuation. It's a great jumping on point because it explains a lot of the stuff from the Catwoman book beforehand. But what this does even better is it just, for the people who have been reading, it's just like, okay, here's what we got coming up next. Hope you like it, sort of deal. And I'll tell you right now, I loved it. It's really good. And it's just interesting to see all this, like how the writer Genevieve, I'm blanking on her last name. I know her first name is Genevieve, but what she's got going on with Catwoman. Gotham Academy. This is another one of those. It's a small continuation. The whole book, I want to say, is told through the point of view, or the sneak peek is told through the point of view of Maps. And it's a song, which is great. I love stuff like that. And it's really cool. It gives you the idea of, or it's basically the reason why me and Corey, when Gotham Academy came out, why we gravitated towards so easily. And that's because it's a Gotham book, but it's not really focused on Batman, sort of deal, which is big. It's a big thing. Grayson. Now, Grayson, this one, it is still new reader friendly, but it's not totally new reader friendly like Catwoman was. It's more, it leans on the scale of new reader friendly to this is just continuation for the people who've read the previous issues. It's maybe like right here, just past halfway. which is fine, you know, I mean, because not everything is going to be, or should it be, hey, here's a place where you can jump on and, you know, get caught up, but not at the same time, not everything has to be, we're gonna be, you know, forget new readers, we're continuing on with our story. Sometimes that's okay, but this one not. There's a natural pause, and I felt like in the story before the sneak peek, and this is starting to pick up a little bit what happened in between, and we're going to get the new, like, it's going to pick up really great when Grayson comes out. Now onto a new book. This is the one of two new book, or no, sorry, one of three new books in this list, because I don't think Batman, I'm not 100%, but I don't know if Batman Beyond was a book in the New 52 beforehand. And this is Martian Manhunter. Now this one, I had to remember the book because I read this 2 weeks, or like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. But Martian Manhunter, this is they're setting up a compelling story for me. You have John Jones, who, you know, the Martian Manhunter, trying to be his best person that he can, or best alien he could be, and protect his planet, protect Earth, from this upcoming doom sort of deal, this upcoming problem. And I am being spoiler free with this because I don't want to spoil too much, but at the same time, I want to tell you what books to look out for. And Martian Manhunter is one of those to look out for. I really enjoyed this book. It was this 8 pages. Getting into the mind of John Jones is another reason why I enjoyed the book, because he was one of my favorite characters on Justice League, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. I mean, he was one I liked the most, because like, oh yeah, everyone got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, you know, what, Flash, Green Lantern. I'll take John Jones any day. Next one, new Suicide Squad. This one, it's big ball of crazy. It's all it is, all you need to know. It's just a big heaping ball of crazy, and it's so good. I'm so thankful that it's that, because that's what it was beforehand. There's more intrigue. This one is a little bit more new, continuing reader. Like, it's broad enough to where new readers can come in on here and read it, and then hopefully want to jump back in time to see, well, not back in time, but like, you know, pick up the past issues to catch what they're missing. But at the same time, the people who have been reading it straight through will see what's coming up next and be excited for that as well. The third book that's a new book coming out is Robin, Son of Batman. Now this one follows Damian Wayne through with his time. This is post revival, powers very similar to Superman. Him traveling with a werebat, which I did not know there were such things as those in the DC universe, but holy crap, the thing is awesome. That werebat is so cool. Because Robin's sitting there, Damian Wayne is just sitting there, you know, fighting off, I want to see if they're like man-bats or something, fighting off these creatures or whatever. And then he's like, all right, my turn. Woof, roar, sort of deal. Just big panel of it dropping down and then screaming at them. And it's like you could almost see the pee ring around their crotches as they're running away. Really great, really good writing. I'm enjoying this. I enjoyed the sneak peek. Wow, words are fun today. And I will probably enjoy this when I pick it up. Secret Six. I thought this book got canceled because a lot of the numbers, the magic numbers for these sneak peeks seem to be 41, 17, or I want to say even 11 on a couple of these books. Or I think 7 might have been in there too. This one, 2 books before it, And those 2 books were great, and all of them written by Gail Simone. I really like Gail Simone's writing and all that, and it just sort of fell off the radar. I'm like, what happened to Suicide, or what happened to Secret Six? Where did it go? It fell off sort of like how or the 616 fell off. But then it came back and in here, and I'm just like, oh wow, and it's really good. It's just, I'm like, okay, yeah, this one is a little bit more. Well, no, it still falls in that balance of new reader, continuing reader sort of deal. But for the new reader, you're picking up 2 issues beforehand because it's preview for issue 3, or it's talking about issue 3. And then finally, from the 3rd week of sneak peeks is Teen Titans. I feel like I missed something with this book. I enjoyed it, but I felt like I missed something in between the book, the pre-Convergence book, and this. I don't know if it was just subtext in the last issue, in the last whole issue, but this one I'm like, wait, something. We jumped a little too far for this book. Now, all the sneak peeks are in they're not like, okay, this is the first 8 pages from the next issue. It's essentially the prologue to the story. But I'm really excited for this book. Now on to the final week. This past week's sneak peeks. Starting off with Batgirl. Now, Batgirl, I've been a fan of this book, starting with Gail Simone's run, and then you got Cameron Stewart, Babstar. I think Becky Cloonan is writing on this book too, and I've enjoyed that book. I've enjoyed, and this is great. This is one of those, like, all these are pick up essentially. You know, new reader can pick it up, and with where we're starting at, I'm so interested. Especially because it seems like Batman is going to be involved with this a little bit, and it's going to be another interesting take on or deal with this with Batman, which I'll get to in a second. And yeah, the art is great. Babstar's art is just really good. I've enjoyed it since the beginning of this. It's nice to see. They did sort of how Barbara Gordon's mind works in here, like, because she has photographic memory, and that it's what we saw before. But I'm just like, oh yeah, this would be great if they use this more often, or I could see them using, if there was Batgirl in a TV series, you know, like on the CW, I could see them using this for her photographic memory, sort of deal, like with how she's doing things. Almost like Sean Spencer from Psych. Now that I'm saying this stuff out loud, it's just like, wait, you're describing Sean Spencer. And how he does his observations where it's just zoom and zooms in, sort of deal. But the other book, and I'm going to let you know for now, the sneak peeks, I didn't realize this, but 3 of them were already released from the final week. Batman, Justice League, and Superman were all one of the 2 free comic book day books. And actually, I think I have them right here if you'll hold on. But Batman, this one is the one that I mentioned before. Sorry, while I'm talking while I'm off camera, but haha, so what? And it's right in here. And it reveals the new Batman, who is, and spoiler alert, in 3, 2, 1, the new Batman is Jim Gordon, if you did not know that. And again, like I've said this before when we were talking about this, when Free Comic Book Day came out or happened, I really dug this story. This is one that you read because it is very simple. You know, it's just you don't see what's going on until afterwards. Even the new look for Jim Gordon, it's like, oh hey, you were, and they say in there he was a Marine or a Navy SEAL. You know, like one of those guys. And I'm like, you look like you're channeling that past, dude. Good on you. Black Canary, this is in the same Batgirl of Burnside universe. I'm calling it universe, but like area, and it looks really good. This looks like it's going to be an enjoyable read for Black Canary. and because I sort of saw how they were pitching it, like, oh, they're going to be touring, and as something happened, or as they're at their spot, hilarity will ensue or in that book, or for that issue, and they're going to deliver. I have the strongest feeling they're going to deliver, because that's how it came across when I was reading this. It's like, oh, hey, she's getting ready to perform, and they're outside, waiting and all this stuff, and they get called in. Everyone from their past tour that was opening for them comes back to collect money and all this stuff, and yeah, it looks like it's gonna be so fun. The next book, another book that looks like it's gonna be tons of fun. Written by James Tynion, sorry if I know last name, and Ming Doyle. Is Constantine the Hellblazer. This looks a lot like what Constantine was when I hear Corey describe the Hellblazer series, before the New 52. This is what this seems like to me, and this is great. I want that. Because it's just very self-centered in his ways, but doing, but for good reasons. John Constantine, doing stuff, and I will slip between saying Constantine and Constantine. But yeah, it's just a really interesting little read. Great jumping on point if you haven't read any of the other Constantine stuff, because I think I came in at issue 17 before, and I enjoyed it, because it's like, here I'm discovering this guy, and it might not be the one everyone else really enjoys, but I'm enjoying this for what it is, sort of deal. And this one, it's going to be that same. This one should pick up, get more people who liked Constantine before, or even the short-lived, canceled too soon TV series, on NBC. It's that I don't know. People are going to call me crazy for comparing the two, but I don't care. I enjoyed it. The next one, Cyborg. I love the new look for Cyborg on this one. It was announced, like, I think that Friday, or not Friday, that Wednesday. All the sneak peeks are like, hey, here's Cyborg's new look. I really enjoy it, and I don't even care if they changed his look for the fact, or to make it more friendly for the actor who's going to be playing him in the movies. I don't care, because it looks, it doesn't look like it's just giant Iron Man armor, like Iron Man-ish armor. Just it looks more techno organic, and I like that look, because it's like we're gonna have a lot of mystery, like, wait, how is that done, sort of deal, but yet really enjoy it. With the story, it's all really short. A lot of these people who have new costumes, these issues sort of explain how the new costumes sort of happen. Like Superman's, Batman's is more of who is the new Batman sort of deal, and then Cyborg gets another one of those. They're fighting. He gets destroyed, and then reboot program happens, and new body, which is really, really cool. Just seeing that whole thing happen, and I'm going, like, I had, as I'm reading, I had a few moments of confusion where I'm like, wait a minute, they just killed the person and brought them back. Wait, what's going on? But then when it paid off brilliantly. Other one, Earth 2 Society. This is one of the not main universe books sort of deal that I really enjoy. I read this not really knowing anything behind it, and I think I'm gonna pick this up. It was cool. It almost seemed like storyboarding for a TV show or movie with how it was done. They're talking to the Huntress, but you never see her, which is brilliant. I love that, because it's like, wait, what's going on? You see all this stuff, and I'm going, they're picking this up, Convergence. I just spoiled Convergence for myself a little bit. Whatever, I spoiled myself on it before from watching videos. But it was still really good. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed all these books, so I hate saying that for each one, but I enjoyed this book. All of I don't think there's a book in here that I'm not going to pick up. Harley Quinn. Holy freaking! Actually, this surprised me. Or, well, it didn't surprise me, but it just reminded me that we did not get a sneak peek for the Harley Quinn Power Girl book, like limited run book, which maybe because it's a limited run, but I don't care. But it's Amanda Conner, Jimmy Palmiotti picking up right where they left off beforehand, setting up for what's happening afterwards. No action in it whatsoever. It's all talking. But it's all Harley talking, giving her gang names, and they are hilarious. Like, one of the girls on here that's a part of her gang is Cy Borgenstein's granddaughter, so she calls her, and she's Jewish, so Harley calls her Hannah Quinn, which is hilarious. There's a dude on there named Harvey. He becomes Harvey Quinn. And it's just like, I'm sitting there going, this is brilliant. Like, I couldn't think of this stuff quick. Like, it seems like they were riffing, and like as they're working together, like, oh yeah, what about this one? Boom, Harley Quinn, all this, and it's all plays on the Harley Quinn name, except for the one who's the base camp person. She's called Coach. And there's even a great line with that. I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. The Justice League book, this one was setting up Darkseid War, which is coming up next. It's blanking on his name. Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok. It's their new thing with basically Darkseid fighting the Anti-Monitor, which I'm sitting going, okay, you got an epic coming up here. I'm gonna sit back and watch. Excuse me. Justice League United seems sort of like how the premise for the end of one of the volumes, I think the first volume for Mighty Avengers was going to be, where it's like, basically we need everyone. I don't know if it's going to be like this is tied into the Darkseid War or whatnot, but you just see them all going around recruiting people and all that stuff, even recruiting other people who are members of the Justice League in some way, shape, or form, whether it's dark or regular or whatever. But it's working, and this one is all set up for new readers. Like, it's like, if here's new readers, it's like right there, sort of deal. Sinestro. This one has me curious because, again, no pretense beforehand, but it's sort of continuing on with its story, but mentioning the fact that we have the Green Lantern Lost Army story going on. That's the replacement for Green Lantern Corps, and that there's no Green Lanterns anymore. Sort of deal. I enjoyed it. I'm really curious as to how, like, what's going to happen next. Sort of deal. Superman. This is the other of the two. Like I said, Justice League was in here. This is the other of the three. It's sort of Superman with a completely different power set, it seems like. This one takes place after Action Comics is the only thing I can think of that would make sense a little bit, or it's sort of in between, like around the Action Comics sneak peek that happened. And it's just really interesting as to how it's going to be. How long are they going to keep this whole where he has more vulnerabilities than just kryptonite now? Superman, Wonder Woman, this is basically undoing what Charles Soule did with them being in love and all that. It's the breakup, and we're going to go through all that now. The Flash, very much like the TV show. That's all I got to say. Still good, but it's just like, this is very like the TV show right now. I'm enjoying it, but hey. And then We Are Robin. This is another new book for them. And this one is, to me, it's a little bit like how the Teen Titans were, or no, sorry. how Young Avengers was when they would use with Jamie McKelvin Kieran McGillen and Jamie McKelvey, how they would use social media and stuff like that. That's very much what this setup was. And then real quick, my thoughts on Convergence. I really dug Convergence. The fact that it opened up the whole multiverse, and yes, it did undo Crisis. It undid the events of Crisis. I feel like this is more for the people, to lure in writers, whether they be old faces or new, if they want to use, someone here that was on Earth 5 or whatever, it gives them that opportunity, sort of deal. And this is where, if you watch on Galactic Netcast this past week's episode of Sci-Fi Geeks Club, Brad said some things. I'm like, I don't agree with you, where it might be true, but at the same time, I didn't see it that way. But yeah, so it's really good. I really enjoyed this. If anything, it got me more excited for the future possibilities past DCU, which is what they're branding this whole little rechunk now. But it's just the promo stuff. It's not like they're actually calling this DCU and it's YOU. But yeah, so that wraps it up here for this. I'll be back later for what else is on with Corey, Beat, and Evan, and I will see you then. Bye.